You won't need it to stay warm. You're so afraid of my affections. You could drown in your own storm. There's no need for reservation. No one else can see. After some examination, man, I think that you've got what I need. It's really alright. It's really alright. It's really alright if you don't love me. What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, that cold-hearted landscape or me? What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, a cold-hearted landscape or me?
Hello again, darlings. We have fresh tea, we have eaten well, and now we're going to play some more. Now, I have a feeling my friend could use these earthy colors. She's into making little things, unlike me. They have a workshop coming up making a little felted bird. It's adorable. It's a bluebird. And I admire the skills. I just have no desire to have little tchotchkes around, I guess, you know. Anyway, I want to make something out of everything I do. Art, wearable art preferably. And this test of llama fur and wool is going to show me how far I can go, how much llama wool I can use, excuse me, in making a big sturdy bag for carrying, you know, like groceries. Like you go to the dollar store and you only need a few things. A shoulder bag. I hate carrying extra bags if I don't have to. So it has to be sturdy. It's got to be cool looking, because, you know, it's art. Yep. Looking forward to it. So this has to dry. We're going to just, oh my goodness, I'm running out of places for this to dry. Let me go to the turntable. What are we doing over here? Ooh, drying nicely, but not enough. Okay. You go there. And you go there. Excuse me. So let's choose the template. The one I just made worked pretty well. That could do it. But I want to have lacy stuff come off the end. I think I'll tape this together. It's not exactly even, but for this project, that'll be great. Okay, so it's basically going to be a kind of a Harry Potter looking squatty candle holder. So let's see what colors we want. We want a lot of moody colors. Got our grays, our blues. That's a really nice blue. How about all right, we need a contrast color, orange. I must have orange. Let's see. The color wheel. The dominant color, blue. So you need something from the other palette, in this case, primaries. We just got in some orange merino. And we have orange viscose. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, this is going to just be around the fringe, so we're not going to need too much. But we got to make sure it's all there before we start. But this will be close by just in case. And we also have this pumpkin viscose, which is really pretty. but that is kind of sharp and stunning. All right, do I want to go for kid factor or sophistication? If I want to go sophisticated, I'm going to go with this. And I want a little bit more kid pop. I'll go with this really bright stuff. Again, it is a candle. Let's go with the kid fun. Now that certainly is a contrast, isn't it? Now the sadness in buying things online. If I want to find this shade of viscose, it doesn't mean I'm going to be able to find this shade of viscose. It's good luck. But might find it in silk. But we're going to limit ourselves because I just want to get some of this stuff like done and out there. So we're going to do the inside of the pot first. Layer 1. Now this is one of those samples that came squashed into a little teeny weeny bag. Really teeny weeny. Dust. And we have to make sure we leave enough for the other side. Now this is this is one of those colors that, depending on what color as you have, your perception is going to get their own. This is, to some people, a purple, and to some a blue. Colors funny like that. And it looks like when in contrast with the orange, it's going to look purpley, which is cool. Because I was just thinking about getting up and getting some purple, but I think this will do it. Now, it's a fine line with these, because you need it to be, basically you want it to be as transparent as you can manage it without losing from it the structure of it. It's got to be able to stand up on its own or take whatever shape you want. Now we will have to fill in because everything needs its cross-hatching or it won't knit right. A random blue here. I just want to lighten this side up a little bit. Here now. Boy, there's such a difference in texture. This blue is so rough. It's good for this particular kind of project, but way different from the really fine stuff I use for the purses. It feels pretty good. A little heavier on the bottom than on the top, which is what we need. Okay, stay there for a few minutes. We need to wet this down. Gotta be careful not to get too much actual water. I don't want to start it felting before I'm ready. These flying hairs get everywhere. Okay, to make sure. We have to have enough on the bottom to curl up, or we'll have a seam break. Okay. Oh, dry the hands. You don't want wet hands touching the wool. Sip of tea. Nice and fresh and hot. Yep, I got a piece of gold silk trying to be part of the story. May have to get some more of this. Yeah, this was once bundled up into a little teeny ball too. Yeah, they really treated this wool harshly. Don't get too crazy there. That's a corner. There you go. Throw a little bit of some blue in here. Never got any more of that. Yeah, that blue looks very purple next to the orange. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig out some more of this. And we need a little more orange. Just one smidgen short. But we've got plenty of smidges right here. That should do it, I think. Let's check it out. Everything's facing the right direction. Now, I already forgot what I did on the other side up here. Yeah, we definitely want to get some of that into the lacy parts, right? Hello. Oh dear. Yeah, definitely. If you can forget your own key. And so I don't leave the house anymore without either the fanny pack, which is usually on my wash wagon, or my little bag. So it holds my keys, my phone, and my laundry card. And, you know, anything else I need to. Okay, maybe it's a bit much, but oh well. It's gonna get all mooshed in. I hope you didn't have to wait too long. At least they know who you are, right? Okay. The taste of that soap is salty. Ah, moving too fast. That's one way to meet people. The water's too warm right now to use directly, so I had to use just the phone. Okay. Okay, so you all look the same, right? Right. I bet you look just like Trevor Noah. No? Oh. Ha! Yep. Because they don't see. That's their training. Oops. Crucial detail. There. Get back there, you're fun. Which way do I want to go? I should have flipped it first. Oh, I like that side. Oh, maybe I'll do the other side the other way. We'll get some different texture this way. I need more water. But this, I had to cut some of it on the last one because this plastic inside wasn't quite enough. And this felt like, bam. When you keep it lacy, it's like, yeah. Separate, thank you. Oh my God. Stupid people. Was he drunk when he bummed it? Okay, I'm gonna get more viscose because it looks pretty cool. Oh, we could do some distracting gold threads, silk. Do I have any more plastic? I do. There. Now, don't stick to yourself. Thank you. Now, when you showed me a picture of you, I could tell you immediately from your cousin. Hey, stay down. Oh yeah, those perforations, I can feel the water. Okay. Did you ever see that $10? Did it ever make the full round and get to you, or you have to be very gentle at first. Well, those are some pretty colors. Now, you can't rub the viscose or the silk. You just have to very carefully keep on felting until they become part of the environment. Okay. If there's too much water, it will not fill properly. But if there's not enough, same problem. And then 2 black males and 1 black female. Yeah, you are severely outnumbered, aren't you? I didn't think it was that severe. That sucks. Actually, we can use a dry soap. Well, there's a few of those stereotypes around, aren't there? You gotta, I guess, decide which stereotype you want to emulate and put that thought in their head. After all, there's a big difference between Benson waiting on people, you know, being somebody's butler, and Benson in the governor's mansion as the governor. Let's get that piece of wool out of my cup before I swallow it. There we go. And there was, what was that, God, the one that glorified white men going around with 5 o'clock shadow and open jackets. Miami Vice. I never saw it. I've only seen commercials. And I can only tell you, a black dude, a white dude, they look pretty casual. And then I remember reading something about the black guy and went, he doesn't sound like somebody I'd want to meet. What do you know? It's like something went to his head. I don't know. I can't remember his name. What was the white guy's name? Don Johnson. That was one of those stars shoved down our throats. It's like, yeah, he's a good-looking man. I'm not fond of that character, you know. Certainly everybody's trying to look like him, which I loved in the Wedding Singer movie with Adam Sandler, because the bad guy in that one was someone who was kind of like a wannabe Don Johnson. I think I'm learning reality. No, 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 no. You're creating reality. If you're learning something, you're learning history. Do not create tomorrow based on yesterday if yesterday was not a good thing. Or we will never get out of the mess we're in. Focus on tomorrow. As I said, it's important to know, how do you want to be treated? How do you treat others? Be aware, be hyper aware. How do I want to be treated? So that is your vibe, and you attract people who will treat you the way you want to be treated. But if you're used to like reality and just going like with the flow, whatever's out there, that's the mistake people make. They think that you're obligated to participate in the now, but the now doesn't need your participation if it is not something that works with your spirit. You have to focus on what it is you want to attract. Just like with crazy ladies, you know, you have to not think about the crazy ones. You got to think about what makes a not crazy one. What's cool about a good one? What does a good one look like in your mind? What does it feel like being around someone who you like to be around? You know, like your friend Jill. There's nothing, you know, going on between the two of you, I know that. But you like her as a friend, and she's a good example, you know, somebody that you can just talk with. And that's, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So that guy that killed his wife and a guy she was talking to, OJ, he was in a Nowadays, if I'm going to watch porn, it's going to be on the order of Orgasmo. I would watch Orgasmo again. Orgasmo was freaking hilarious. especially with Chota Boy and his hamster style karate. The deadly hamster style. Anyway, that's a funny movie, and it's about the porn industry. I think that's where he also started launching off the whole Book of Mormon thing. You never heard of it? It's one of the funniest movies ever. You heard of South Park? It's those guys. It's their movie. Orgasmo. He used real porn stars in that movie. And you will definitely have heard of and or seen some, because I recognized a few. It's like, I recognize a few? They have to be pretty famous. No, not Stormy Daniels. I don't think. It is very funny. Unfortunately, I can't watch it because I can't watch any of my DVDs right now. I haven't messed around with that lately, but I guess I should get to it because it's really, I've got a wonderful comedic collection, and I can't enjoy any of it except the stuff that I already had. I've purchased a second time to have streaming ability when I was married to Glenn because he never got out of bed. So we had stuff that we could watch on the TV with you streaming it. So that's how I ended up with all of the Police Academy movies and a bunch of Married with Children. I forget what else. Oh, stuff that he liked to watch, and if I liked to watch it and he liked to watch it, then I kept it. And if he didn't like to watch it as much as me, I did not buy a second copy of it. But then after the divorce, I got stuff that I liked and he would never watch, so I'm very happy now. Yeah, look up Orgasmo. And if you also want to see something funny and weird, Basketball, if you haven't heard of that one, that's another Matt and Trey movie. Oops. I lost the chat. Hold on a second. No. Why do you have to give me such a hard time? I literally prefer all this stuff to be on my Kindle where I can see the things. When I arrived at Jill's place, there were a few of her friends there already. Scotty. He hid in the bedroom until the others left. Yeah, he sounds like Glenn, a narcissist. I don't want to see anybody but exactly who I said is okay. Anybody else can fuck right off. A lot of women really are down to earth, sweetie, but you're not going to see them. You're going to only see the ones that aren't available because you have to get that headset out of your brain that they're all, scheming, loco, devious, whatever, because that's not what you really want. You want someone more like Jill. So you can't have her, so you don't want to do her like a template But do you want to think about the things you like about her? Because that's what you want to attract into your life. If she's easy to talk with, then you want to say that in your head. I want a woman easy to talk with. When people used to consult me for, card readings, for all kinds of stuff, or even spells, they would come to Keen with every kind of request. I did not accommodate all of them, but some of them were interesting. I tried to remind people that you might want somebody, because a lot of them had crushes on actors and actresses, and it's like, bring it back to earth, okay? You need someone in your life on your level, and if you're going to constantly be comparing them to a person that's impossible to have, you're setting yourself up for failure, because that vibration is not have, woman not have, man not have, because they belong to other people, or small likelihood. But I'm not saying that just because they're famous you cross them off. There are people who do meet their dreams, and so I don't want to discourage that, but I will discourage you if you're already involved with somebody and that person you're craving is also involved with somebody. Like, especially if you're not in the same neighborhood, People can be assholes. We know that. We're assholes from time to time, and if you can't admit that, you're never going to have a relationship on a healthy level with anyone, because you have to be able to accept your own assholiness so that you can be compassionate about someone else's every once in a while being an asshole. It just depends on the depth of that assholiness. There's all levels, You're not adhering like I was hoping. We're gonna have to do some more. It's already starting to shrink though, and I don't know if I put more, it's gonna work. No, we're just gonna have to be patient. Look at that. It pulled it up. Let's lay it back down. Stay. Healthy relationships are based on a commitment. And that commitment, part of what makes it a healthy relationship is the understanding that you may be attracted to each other with the, and the butterflies and the excitement, and can't wait to see them. But as the years go on, that level goes up and down, and there will be days you hate each other's guts, and other days it's like, I just don't like you today. And then it comes back to the bottom underlying devotion, the love that also comes from a commitment that you're going to stay, you're going to work on it, you're going to try and grow, even if you don't know what that means at first. You have to have a challenge before you know what that means to you in your relationship. But people who think it's all honeymoon and it's going to stay that way will never have a healthy, happy relationship. They'll always be expecting the superhuman out of just a normal human being. And part of love and a wonderful relationship is that safety of being with somebody that you recognize and who recognizes you as a human being. And you can just care about each other based on that without having to go overboard. I must be feeling butterflies all the time, or it's not love, or the love died, or I don't know if I love you anymore. It's like, yeah, you're going to have days like that, definitely. That you're not going to know if it's love, because you're not going to be feeling all lovey-dovey, because that goes away. It's not there every day. Every day has your everyday problems and tiredness and sicknesses and chores and cat throwing up. You know, I mean, that's life. Well, you know what the physical thing is, but you have to be clear on the emotional part. The physical part is easy. Everyone's got a butt. If they have a particularly nice one, or maybe not perfect, but they know how to use it, you're sold. But there's got to be more to it, because it's not just their butt you're marrying or living with. You're living with a whole person. And if the butt is what you see first, that's one thing. But if you can't get into a conversation, you're not ever going to have a relationship. Women want someone to talk with. Even if you're just a good listener. And you ask the right questions at the right time. And a lot of men don't get it. I mean, we all have our different love styles or love languages, however you want to put it, but there's the person that sends you flowers through the florist. There's the person who picks up the flowers and delivers them in person. And then there's the one that goes out and picks wild violets for you. Who do you think the woman's going to go for? Most of the time it's going to be the wild violets. Someone who actually took the time and forethought to do something romantic and sweet. It's not the same as just having cash to throw down. Although it is nice, but it's not the same. Men think we just want a lot of rich, fancy things, and there are some women who are like that, but the vast majority of women just want a simple person with a simple life, and somebody they can feel safe with. Yep, probably did. Did you almost trip over her? Did she bend over and pick something up? Of course, you know all of the rumors about black men. Those Asian women have heard it too. I've heard that Asian men are kind of shortchanged in that department. I can't tell you personally. I do not know. I just remember the rumors. I also heard said of Italian and French men. Not underperformance, just on the smaller side. Petite. Mythologies go far, and they exist for every single group. Their sexual prowess, how good they are with money and children. I mean, there's even a book called The Jewish Mystique that said some things about Jewish men that made me want to go, oh, come on. Who wrote this, a Jewish man? Are you just trying to make sure everybody knows you're a good dad? And you don't drink? Yay. Boring man, too. But anyway, yeah, people, there's all kinds of, there's a black mystique, you know, there's a Chinese mystique. Everybody, if you didn't grow up surrounded by a group of people of a different nationality, you don't know shit about them. And rumors fly, stories prevail. Well, if she bent over that way, of course you did. At least you didn't, you know, slam into her in an indecent way. So how did you handle it? Excuse me? Did she say excuse me? Did she apologize? Or, because that's really outrageous flirting. Stop you dead in your tracks. If you bumped into her, it would have been an assault charge. Good. If black men are that rare in your island, you gotta watch your back. Hey. They're nicer than I am. I would have been, whoa, watch it, lady. Or being polite. Oh, excuse me. But I probably would have been sarcastic. Like, you did that on purpose. Excuse me. But then again, when people pull shit, I tend to be more confrontational. Just because I know they're pulling shit. True accidents I take no umbrage at. With my eyes. Oh yeah. Where's that wrinkle coming from? Tape? Oh. Well, you know your weakness physically, but you have to be clear on what you want as a personality. And if you can't come up with what you want in a woman besides her ass, then you have a problem you need to talk about with your counselor. Because that's just boring. Everybody's got a butt. Can you hold a conversation? Are you entertaining? What's your idea of a night out? Or a night in? Or lunch together? What's your idea? I'm not saying go offer it. I'm just saying think of it. What would you like to do? And you know that you can make these things happen, Maui. You know it because every time we talk about something and you focus on what it is that feels good, something good happens right after. And that's consistent. Even like we were talking about height. And then the next day, within hours, you were in a Korean store where everybody was shorter than you and they thought of you as a tall guy and they were like, can you get that for me? Because you were, in their world, you were a tall man. It's all about perspective. And the different people who are different, like you are, compared to where everybody else, as you described earlier, people who are different stand out. You can stand out in a self-conscious way or in a I'm proud of who I am way. Not boasting, but proud of who you are because you've been through a lot and here you are. You're a success. You finally have peace. You got a nice apartment. You got a beautiful little cat who drives you crazy, just like any child. You got stuff to do every day. All right. You're way better now than you were 10 years ago. And you're letting go of things. It may be slow, but you're learning to change your focus so that it's not driving you as crazy. You just got to let go of the idea that this is reality. If it's made, if it's happened, it's already past tense. It's already been streamed. It's already made as a movie. It's done. Your past is behind you. Let the movie go on. What do you want next? Do you remember I don't know if you were there, the exercise of the magic typewriter? Let's sit down and write what you want. Everything you write about your life comes true. Literally everything. So you have to sit there and write your life the way you want it to be because it's going to come true. So why would you write crap into it, right? Unless you needed to punish yourself, and then you've got to question yourself psychologically. When you are connected with spirit, you're calm or excited or passionate. You have good feelings. You're elevated. That is connection with spirit. That tells you, well, you can't get completely disconnected, but you can cut yourself off from the higher vibrations, and then you experience crappier things. But the more you stay up there, the more you're attracting circumstances that are more to your taste. So yeah, the magic typewriter isn't about you changing the rest of the world. It's about you deciding from where you stand right now, what would you like to see happen going forward? You can start off by writing about how you want to see your garden. Seriously, from where you stand. If you start with where you stand, you can't go wrong. You will be led down the correct windy path, whatever it takes, to get you to your goals and bring your goals to you. So that's why you need to get clear on what it is you want. The universe is just waiting all the time, just sitting there waiting. Or make a request, like making a wish, except it's unlimited wishes. Remember Aladdin's lamp, all those Aladdin tales of the Arabian Nights and all. The genie did not grant 3 wishes. It kept granting wishes to whoever had the lamp for as long as they had the lamp. As long as they could rub the lamp, they could get the genie to make a wish come true. So there wasn't a limit. That somewhere along the line we put limits on how many wishes. It's like that's just stupid. We're making the rules and don't even realize it. So on your magic typewriter, in your mind's eye, what would you like to see happen tomorrow? And you can project it to the world like I say, I'd like to see proof of democracy holding. I'd like to see proof of goodness in this world, or kindness. And I ask for proof and I get it all the time. Never let down. That's why you want to be careful what you're asking about. But I can't say, oh, I want proof by way of somebody dropping dead. Well, that's not up to me. A life is somebody else's, you know. But when it comes to my life, I can say whatever I want about it. Ask whatever I want for it. Nope, we're still wiggly there. I need you to felt. Looks like there's plenty of room behind it. Also, it looks like it needs water. Let's get some more foliage. That could be the problem. Now this one is going to go over this shape. I like this shape. And I'm hoping I can get some cool looking folds into it. Because it seems like it's stretching out to the sides a bit. Even though it's shrinking. Excuse me. Oh, it looks like the purple is coming up more through the viscose, so that's a good sign. So what do you have going on for the rest of the afternoon? How's your weather today at the top of the mountain? Silk is being a bitch. Very slight amount. I don't know, this part might be a mistake now. I don't know if it'll stick. Might end up having to just cut it off. I'll throw a few fibers across it and see if anything happens. You have to cancel it because it's due tomorrow instead of today. I'm sorry, I don't quite follow you. Cancel email, payment today. Payment due tomorrow. So why do you have to cancel it today? So what does that mean? It's going to be late? I don't know how I just did that, but let's hope it works. I'm getting rid of it. Well, definitely don't be late about that. Don't do that. I don't want you felting to yourself, so behave. I'm like, I just make my payments directly through my bank card. Like, I only have Care Credit, but Care Credit is the same company going through this with TJ Maxx. So I can pay both bills on the same website, but I use my card to pay them. So it comes right out of my bank account, no emails, none of that. I get an email verification, you know, like for my email, like going on the website to pay my rent. But that's Rent Cafe. And it's free. Did you have another company making payments for you? And you had to pay them? And about the pantry, I went crazy this morning looking for, I thought I had Mapo. I wanted cream of wheat for breakfast, but I did not pick it up from the store yet. So I was disappointed this morning. I did get 10 pounds of sesame seeds though. Now some of these little fibers are not going to stay on. You paid them online. They charged you for that? Is what I'm asking. Oh, everything gets so soggy in this craft. This washing and wiping, wiping and washing. Oh. Excess water out. Looks kind of like a big carrot. Yeah, I know you're not gonna stick. Oh, tore it. Now I'll have to fix that. I got too excited and split the seams there. And that extra little bit there, it did not want to stick. Well, we'll have to straighten all of that out when it's dry. So I'll do the wash and the soak. It has to soak in some vinegar water. But we ended up with some pretty nice colors. And we will have more texture as I work it. We'll trim all the loose stuff later after it's all nice and dry, before we starch it. So yeah, I wanted it thin, but I made it too thin. We will have to work on that. In the meantime, as part of the fulling process, fulling is another word for felting. So you stay there for now, since I'm not getting up the second to wash it. What time is it? Oh, I guess I am. Well, I'll be here for a few more minutes anyway. Let me go get the other project and see how it's doing. It'd be time for coat number 2. The string is still quite wet. And that one is as well. Okay, so we have a flowery kind of an effect. I call it rainy day, since I made it yesterday during the rain. And we used a lot of pure white, I say bleached white, so it lights up really nicely. But right now we're still drying, and there we go. I don't want it sticking too much. So after this dries, yeah, I can tell this is going to need some more starch. It's too soft. Now, it's never going to get, with spray starch, which washes right out with water, it's never going to get hard like an acrylic casing. but that's fine. I just want it to be starched enough to hold its shape, but not like fake plastic, because this is felt and you want some of the characteristics of the natural fibers to show through. So even though it's stiff, it's still also soft, which is pretty neat. And we still have a lot of wetness up in here, so I'm not going to mess with this anymore. But we did get some really nice curls here, and they held beautifully. So more fun tomorrow. And now it's time to consider, what do I want for dinner? Although I'm not really very hungry because I had a fabulous lunch between the two sessions here. So let's see what we have. It's this is, I really love how this came out, but this is waiting for more starch. And to do that, I have to get the other vase out. Because you see this, without the starch, it really stretches out. And I don't want it to be quite this big, and I definitely don't want it to be that floppy. But we don't have any strength in here. The light comes through beautifully, but that's why we need the starch. So that will be tomorrow. Now, let's see, we've got these lovely grays. Very, very different grays. This is not the same. Not the same. Not the same. So we actually have 4 blues. That's about enough to do one small project. With purple, that's enough to decorate it. I'll give this to my friend also. When she opens this up, it's gonna poof. Okay, that's all pretty much the same, even though it came in 3 different batches. Yeah. It suffered in the translation. Big time. Hello, Gary. And Charlie. You're here in time for me to say good night. In 15 minutes. So how did everything go, Charlie? With the family sadness, how are you doing? Yeah. How's the rest of the family holding out? Not yet. You told me you were going to the funeral. Ah. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's not. Oh, that's interesting. And they live in France? Start watching that, buddy. Well, it was enough to open communications, right? Like emailing? Très bien. Yeah, there's a lot of this two blues. Yeah. How did you manage that? So who can you connect with to get their emails? I had a few glasses of Ricard rum. This? So what is it? A hard liquor, a wine, an aperitif? I never heard of it. I know Bacardi. Oh, that's interesting. Well, the question is, can you establish a contact with them? Although everybody left and you did not get that information, that doesn't mean you can't get that information, right? What's that, Gary? Now I have to find out what it is. Google says Ricardo's the leading French. Oh, Anis! Yeah. Oh, yes, they are family reunions, definitely. Okay. I grew up with anisette and ouzo, the Greek version. Yeah, that'll lay you to waste, all right. It also give you a nasty headache the next day, but if you have water the next morning, you'll get high again. But you may have already discovered. Well, I love ouzo. There's another one I've got, different brand. Basically the same thing. It's a licorice anise liqueur. Popular with teething babies. Well, it used to be. They know better now. I hope so. Oh, that's lovely. Did the weather straighten out for that? You enjoyed your buzz? Did you get inspired? Oh, good. Oh, nice. It sounds like a lovely moment. So that was cool that they came in for the funeral. Sad that that's the reason, but that's still pretty groovy. Hey. Oh yeah, then it's Nausea City. And it's a sickly sweet one. I never did too much, but close. When my first husband and I, after my father's funeral, in fact, went to my uncle's house so they could get a chance to meet my fiance, because my dad died 6 weeks before my wedding. They served espresso and ouzo. And holy shit, we laughed so much. I hated going, but we had to drive cross country and we couldn't hold up too much, you know. Oh my God, you went to church? For the funeral or because your family was inspired or or you were inspired by the Holy Spirit yourself. Oh, well, honey, I hope that there are other things that'll make you feel manly besides drinking. Yeah. Well, you maintained, it sounded like you had a good time, but you didn't make an ass out of yourself, which too much liquor can usually end up being. An embarrassing sequence of events. When you go there, you go to church. Oh, well, family, right. That's sweet. Nice church? Ah, they're the same age as you? Apparently not as serious as you. But then again, you don't know what they would do if they were home in France. I am glad that you had that. Funerals are good for something besides saying goodbye. A lot of hellos open up. At my mother's funeral, I did not know 3/4 of the people who were there, which was weird. Oh. Okay, yeah, in Canada they have franglais. I always thought, that'd be cool, move someplace where they speak franglais. And then I could put my French to use. Although I'd be learning a new language basically, because franglais is not exactly English or French. That's where Google Translate comes in handy. We have a woman here learning English. She's here from Puerto Rico. And I use my phone when I want to ask her questions about her kids and things like that. And so we stand there in the hallway with our phones. It's nice there are ways, you know. Well, probably. Maybe in retrospect, as those things tend to go. Now I think there's some blue up there. Oh no, go with some this. If she has any goal at all to do something beyond what she's doing, she needs it. She needs to be encouraged with that. She's got to have her own adventure, Charlie. Figure out what it is she really wants. And she won't know until she's there. So I think that's wonderful. She wants to do something else. Also, she's preparing mentally for a life on her own. No, I'm not saying they're getting divorced. I'm not trying to be psychic here. Saying your mother is acting like somebody who needs to get out. She's been very unhappy for a long time. She's not feeling fulfilled or useful the way she needs to be and appreciated. She probably doesn't. But that is up for her to discover and other people to point out. It can't be you because you're the kid. You know what I mean? No matter how old you get, part of her is always going to see you as her child. Because, you know, basically you are her child. And your opinion is not going to have the same weight as somebody her age, as that of somebody her age. And I do understand how you feel about that. I was telling my father he needed to meditate to help bring his blood pressure down years before the doctor told him the same exact thing. It's like, oh, the doctor said it. It's like, I said this 10 years earlier. Now, see, that is the truth of it. But you don't know what she's evolving, how she's evolving. She can't express everything very well, or there wouldn't be so many arguments where that end with them in different rooms. Give her a chance. And just like every other kid going to school, she will just have to learn. Yep. Yeah. It's nice that you're able to be there and to hopefully inspire her to think differently about herself and the world. But I think it's wonderful that she's even thinking about self-discovery that way. You know, she's going to learn a lot about herself by taking on those courses. Yep. Wise words. Not easy to follow, though. But it's a step in the right direction, so that's awesome, Charlie. That'll be better for you, too. When was the last time she attended a university like that? Ever? I mean, she got some education under her belt, didn't she? Yeah, stop complaining. That's definitely a waste of energy. Don't complain. Just keep moving. It's a given that every single thing is going to go exactly your way. It's okay. It gets better. Yeah, this is going to be a great awakening for her. She's going to have a greater appreciation of what you do, too. Let her take a look at some of the law books you've had to go through that made you crazy. Well, not made you crazy, but definitely did not make you and feel like, yeah, I want to do this all my life. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you have totally different things than I've had to deal with. It's weird to realize that isn't that long ago. 40 years ago, I made that journey cross country, married my boyfriend. Yeah, went through a lot of changes. But I was in California. Oh, yeah. What was her injuries? Injuries. Try me. That's true, actually. Mostly because we want to make them happy. We want to please them and we want their approval. And we often mistake changing our choices to please them as the way to do it. But that is not the way to do it. But yeah, good insight. Exactly. We were talking about that yesterday. You know, my father was kind of an intellectual kind of a guy, but he went after, well, psychiatry was new and analyzing children was new. It was like all new. He had us tested to see what our talents would be and our intelligence. And so at 4 years old, I was taking child IQ tests and interest tests. And my father determined very early on that I was going to be the scientist The next one was going to be the artist. The third one was going to be a writer. And that was all partially right, but partially right because Dad supported those beliefs by gifting us things to support it. Diana got art supplies, and I got a microscope and specimens to dissect. Well, that's it. Again, it's because we want their approval. We love them. We want to make them happy. And as a child, you are unintentionally, but that's how they train you, is you know you're doing the right thing, like going potty in the right place, by how your parents approve of that behavior. And so conditioning starts before you're even aware of it, that you have to please your parents to get approval. And that does unconsciously move into adulthood. We're pleasing or trying to please somebody else or live up to an inner voice that's not actually ours, but a self-critical voice, things like that. And for a long time, I didn't realize it, but I was trying to please my father. And there is no such thing as being able to please somebody without, undoing some of you. My father wanted the best for all of his daughters. That was a definite. But that didn't mean that it was the best thing to focus on very limited things. I was very interested in science, but so were my other sisters. All of us were interested in all of the arts and music. So kind of breaking us up into, like, I'm going to give you the instruments, I'm going to give you the art supplies, I'm going to give you the paper and pen. You know what I mean? It was like, that's not really cool, because we all wanted to do these things. Yeah, see, we didn't have that. I was left to books, but my father provided those books, and most of them, at least to start. Now, in approval, it's not something that's verbal. The approval is their emotional acceptance of you, or the challenges they'll put in front of you if they don't approve of one of your choices. Like, you got hit with all kinds of challenges the minute you decided you really don't want to pursue law. Like, so you don't feel the same way about it, and you wanted some time to think about it. Yes, and that's true. Yep. Well, I had to come to those conclusions way when I was way older than you, on one hand. I mean, early on, I was on my own, so it was a practical thing. It doesn't matter what anybody wants for me, because I was on my own at a very young age. So I had to make up my own mind. Plus, I was kind of the boss. I had 3 younger sisters, and I was the boss of them. You're always being put in charge of the little ones. All it did was make me not want to have children. I don't know if they thought I was going to turn into mommy, because, don't you want to grow up just like your mom? I said, my mother had 4 children. No. Good night, sweetheart. Sweet dreams, Gary. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Gary O. Or Gary 7. That was a science fiction spin-off from Star Trek. They were going to try and make it into a series. The Man from the Future. You should know, Maui, because the episode was with Terry Garr on the original Star Trek, and they were going to do a spin-off with Terry Garr and Gary O or Gary 7 or whatever his code name was. Well, it wasn't all that many years ago that you were complaining that they were not giving you enough help. All of that is a matter of your perspective in the moment, and that's going to change moment to moment. It's nice to have supportive family. There's no guarantee of it, you know. The support that I got ended at age 9 or 11, somewhere like that, about 11. But before then, I definitely had family support. Was it what I needed and wanted? At that age, what can you say? They fed me, they clothed me, they had a roof over my head, I was safe, I went to school, I got good grades. What are you going to ask of a small child, you know? Oh, you don't know the spin-off? Yeah, there was an episode, it was kind of comedy, where the Enterprise accidentally went to the past and intercepted someone who was supposed to be part of the space program or something. They transported him onto the Enterprise, and then they were like, oh God, he's got to be returned, he's important. If without him, there won't be any future where we exist, like, you know, the space program. So they had to get him back, but also at the same time, an alien who was actually a human who'd been kidnapped and developed on another planet and then brought back so he could help save mankind from his nuclear disasters. They were going to make a point so that people were more careful with nuclear material. And he had to explode a bomb at the right height. And Terry Garr, who was hired by an agency to be his secretary, thought he was the bad guy and was like getting in the way of him finishing the job. And then Spock and Kirk got involved, and they're all in this office with this giant computer. Yes, with the cat. Oh, I'm not, honey, you don't even need to think about what you said years ago. You're growing. You should not even be thinking about the past as much as tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to go and make myself a little snacky for dinner myself, so it'll be sweet dreams to me too very soon. So, sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. I'll be back tomorrow. Definitely. Love you too, sweetheart. Mwah. Rest well. And remember, expect the best. If you're not expecting the best, what are you expecting? I will definitely be here. Let me give you my little hello, my huggies. Oh, that's a cute fish there. Aloha. There's my little peace signs. Okay. Well, all y'all, whoever all is here, thank you for hanging with me. And please remember to give me a thumbs up. Apparently that helps get me in front of other people. So I guess knowing that is a good thing. So until later or in text land,